Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Missy. Thanks for coming back to my channel for another process video. I made this layout for Shimmerz, and I wanted to remind you that if you do shop at Shimmerz on the website, you can get some free product if you mention my name at the checkout section under Notes to Merchant. You can get some free product in the color of your choice. So check that out if you decide to purchase some Shimmerz. And I'm going to show you this layout that I created using a bunch of different Shimmerz products. So the first thing I'm doing is coating my cardstock with clear gesso, and I'm going to trace around my picture so I know where I'm going to do most of my wet work. And I picked a photo that's hard to scrap. I call it hard to scrap because it's got a bunch of different contrasting colors in her shirt there, and it's very hard to find a collection sometimes that's going to coordinate with a shirt that's that busy. So I take this opportunity to create my own background, and so I know exactly what colors I'm going to make it with, and it's going to match the shirt perfectly. So I'm using colorings and vibes and spritz. That's the three different pinks there, and they're all a little bit different color, but they're all a little bit different. And the colorings, it's a highly pigmented spray mist or paint, and when it dries it's just a flat color. The vibes are also highly pigmented, but they are kind of iridescent and shimmery when they dry. And the spritz is a little bit of the same thing, just different colors. So it's really fun to mix and match all of these and to layer them like I'm doing here, because you're going to get a ton of different shades and a ton of different tones of all these different bright, beautiful colors. And so I'm just starting with different pinks there, and I'm going around where I trace the picture. And I started with just adding a bunch of water. Well, not a bunch, but I just took the brush and some water and kind of wet the paper, so when I started to, drip the color onto there, it would kind of start to flow around. And I just keep doing this. I spent a lot of time creating this background, and I wanted several different shades of all of those colors in her shirt. So now what I'm using there are actual Shimmerz. I know that's the name of the company, but these paints are called Shimmerz. And as you can see, you use a brush to apply these, and they're thicker, and when they dry they are really shimmery, and that's why they're named Shimmerz, because that's exactly what they do. As you can see there, it's not super thick, but it goes on just like you're seeing there. It's very bold color, and there's so many colors to choose from. I just chose a lot of bright colors because that's my favorite thing to use, but they also have a lot of light pastel colors if that's your thing. There's so many to use, and it's just fun to mix and match them here. And I do take the heat gun in between some of these applications of color, just because I don't want them to blend together. I want this to look very colorful, and I want all the colors, while they're on top of each other and layered, I don't want them to all blend together into the same color. So I do take my heat gun off screen there and dry it, so by the time I apply the next one, it's dry and they will layer on top of each other instead of mixing together. Now that's Hermit the Frog green. It is a gorgeous green, and you can see there on the bottom the pearlescent stuff inside does sort of sink to the bottom. So just like any mist or spray, you need to give it a roll or shake it. I love this color. I'm not even a big green fan. I think I've said that in another one of my videos, but it goes so perfectly with the picture. I held it up to the picture and it matched perfectly. And you can see there, and I do add more. I'm coming in with some dazzlers, and I know I've made a video not too long ago using the dazzlers, and I'm just going to scrape it over this little square stencil here, and that is called Sour Apple, the color. And the dazzlers are almost like a very creamy light modeling paste. It's very thin, and when it dries it's very shiny and very shimmery. It's just really cool. It goes on so easy. I think I've used my finger to smudge it on things before. They go through a stencil really nicely, and you can see there how shiny it is. All right, now I'm going to come in with orange, the orange element, and I'm just going to use this like you would the typical spray. I'm just going to spray it. And I don't want a whole lot. I just want a little bit of orange. And I really like how this is coming together. I think that's Mandarin Mai Tai, and that is a colorings. And I do something really stupid here. I hold my finger. Do you see my finger? I have a finger shape there. I was telling myself, oh, why did you hold your finger there? So, yeah. Don't hold your finger in front of the mist, because if you do, you're going to have a finger shape on your page. Anyway, I'm going to fix it. So I'm coming in. I can't remember what color that is. It might be Caribbean Sunset. No, it's not. It is called... Oh, you know what? I don't know what color that is. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, it's an orange color, clearly. It looks more goldy yellowish on the screen, but it's a light orange color. So I did not like the way that when I sprayed those squares, it was like a perfect square at the bottom. I did not want this to look, you know, nice and neat. I wanted it to look random and messy. So I just took some white gesso and kind of tried to cover up some of that bottom right-hand corner and to where my finger went, because I don't want a finger on my page. I'm going back in with the orange. I come back in with the green, and I just keep splattering and adding until I have just the right amount of color. Now, these are creamies, this light pink color here, and it is like a watercolor, but they're thick and creamy, and they're so shimmery. And I just paint it onto this little circle stamp here, and I'm just playing around. I just wanted to see what it would do, and it was a very subtle, very pretty element here. Oh, I need more green. I need more green. Here I come with the green. I could really go on and just do this all day. It's very hard to know when to stop. I think I'm stopping. Yes, because I'm coming in with the washi tape. I finally decided to stop. But seriously, I could cover that whole page with this stuff. I love it so much. So I added some tissue paper behind my picture, and then I decided, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I have some green tissue paper, and it's gonna match. Yay! I didn't even use any pattern paper for this. I straight up just used the cardstock, all of the mixed media, the washi tape, and tissue paper. Sometimes it feels good to just break away from collections and use stuff you have laying around that was never really even intended for scrapbooking, like tissue paper. But I love the way that looks. Love how that turned out. And for the first time in a long time, I don't use pop dots under my picture. I don't know. I just didn't feel like using them this time, so I didn't. I have my die cut there. I cut that out on my Cameo, and it's a new font. I don't know if it's new. It's new to me. It's called Smoothie Shop, and I found it from dafont.com. I hope that's how you say that. I love the cursive font of it, or the cursive, you know, the loops of the letters and the way it welds together really nicely. And sometimes I don't know what I'm going to name a page or for a title when it's just a cute picture of one of my girls. You know, she's just looking cute. She's not really doing anything super important except looking cute in her little shirt. So when I don't really have a big story to tell, sometimes I'll just name the page her name, and her name is Paige. So that's going to be the title. And I'm just coming in on the right-hand side of the layout with several different strands of washi tape, or not strands, rolls of washi tape. And I have a crazy amount of washi tape because you never know what color you're going to need, or, you know, you just never know. So you need every color, right? Well, look here. I've got the green, I've got the pink, I've got the orange, and I've even got a floral one that had all the colors in it. I was very, very happy because I have some floral ones, and, you know, they don't match a lot of things, and it just happened to have green, orange, and pink in it. So I thought, yep, you're going to make it work on this layout. Didn't use a whole lot of it, but it's still in there. So I didn't want to just leave the whole left side blank, so that's why I added the washi tape. And I am going to come in with some stitching here in a minute. But first, oh, there's my thread, and my thread matched. I was getting excited by this point because everything was matching. I was like, oh, my thread matches. Yay, I got to use the pink. I got to use the orange. I got to use the green. And I don't know. I'm obsessed with thread. I think I've put thread on every layout I've made the past several months. And I just cut it, wad it up. Well, not wad it up, but whatever you want to call that, make it into a tangled little web there, and just kind of place it under the picture. And I think it just adds to the chaos in the background, or that messy bunch of color. And I want to add some green over there to the left. And I think I'm going to add the title vertical just because it's different, and I like the way it sort of overlaps the washi tape, but it's the white on white thing, and I love the way that looks sometimes. And I do wind up gluing my picture down a little bit crooked, but it's not that big of a deal. Can't really tell in the end. Usually I make sure that's straight, but this time I didn't. So I took some orange thread and I just did some zigzag stitching through some of that washi tape. And I'm really liking how this is coming out. I love that it matches the shirt. I don't think I could have done that using a specific collection. It's just I do this a lot whenever I have a picture that I really don't want to convert to black and white. You know, this is a good way to really customize your background to match everything in your picture. Because you know from experience that sometimes the wrong shade of pink or the wrong shade of green, you know, it just doesn't go with your picture, and you'll want it to match up perfectly, and that's hard to do sometimes, especially when there's multiple colors in the picture. So I have this random American Crafts chipboard heart. It's been sitting on my desk forever, and that's just a scrap piece of paper that I've used in the past. I'm taking my finger and dipping it into the Shimmerz pink, and I'm coming back in with the Mandarin Mai Tai, and I'm just going to color it with my finger there. I wanted it to blend and, you know, match the colors that I have going on in the layout. And I just play around with it for a bit until I get it sort of pink and sort of orange. And I'm going to stick it right there on the right. The only downside, I think, to creating a layout like this, and you don't have a collection in front of you with all of the embellishments and all of the flair, the stickers, the chipboard, is you kind of have to go digging into your stash for embellishments. And sometimes that can be hard because it's challenging because it's not just laid out for you. So you kind of have to make your own or dig into your stash of, you know, I don't know about you, but I have, you know, a drawer full of random things or a little basket full of random things. And so I pulled from those things to make this. And that's a die cut that I've had sitting on my desk for a while. And I just took a little scratch piece of paper and colored the back so I could, or another little piece of cardstock so I could back it and add right there. And I'm going to use, or create. I'm talking in circles here. I'm going to keep it vertical to match the title. And I did kind of get some paint on the white part, so I took one of my white pens and tried to get rid of it. That little enjoy the little things is from American Crafts. I can't remember which collection. I did color that little chipboard. Oh, that's not chipboard. That's wood veneer. That green wood veneer arrow. And now I'm just, again, things from my stash. Rhinestones, little green ones. They matched, so I had to use them. And that green sticker, puffy sticker on top of the heart, that's American Crafts. I have a lot of my American Crafts stuff together, so I'm going to add my journaling, and I think it's coming to an end. I don't even add any more splatters or drips because I think I have plenty behind the picture. I am going to add the date, and I think it's going to wrap it up there. Yep, that's the final picture of the final layout. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. It was really fun to put together. I really like starting from scratch. The Shimmerz products, I can't say enough good things about them. I would highly recommend giving them a try if you're interested in doing some mixed media, or if you already love doing mixed media. The products are great and they're fun, and you can see right here how pretty they are. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I appreciate you stopping by, and there's a list of what I used. See you next time. Bye.